Now, the right of a free press has been ingrained since our founding, but in a little over 3 months, Trump has used threats of weaponizing government to make major media players either write checks or curb unflattering coverage.
Well, today, Donald Trump retreated and surrendered twice. Once in his trade war and once again in the United States Senate. We reported on this program last night that Donald Trump's increasing political weakness had made it impossible for him to get enough votes in the Senate to confirm his choice to be the U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia. And today, Donald Trump surrendered and withdrew his choice for confirmation to that position. And while he was at it, Donald Trump admitted, in effect, that he's just too old and too weak to do his job.
I can only lift that little phone so many times in a day.
That's how Donald Trump explained his inability to get the 50 votes he needs from Republican senators, plus the vice president, to achieve that Senate confirmation. And you know, he only had to make one phone call to get that nomination through the Senate. That would be a phone call to Republican Senator Thom Tillis on the Senate Judiciary Committee, who publicly came out and defied Donald Trump, as we reported to you here last night. Because Donald Trump is now so politically weak among Republicans in the United States Senate, Thom Tillis said no publicly. I will not vote for Donald Trump's choice. And today, Donald Trump just publicly and meekly surrendered to Thom Tillis, to that one Republican senator who stood in his way, with Donald Trump saying, I can only lift that little phone so many times in a day. The single stupidest explanation a president has ever given for being unable to achieve a Senate confirmation.
One more easy explanation of what just happened with China.
China.
Thank you. Matt McDermott said, for those confused by the China tariff news, Trump caved, got zero in return, no manufacturing moved back to the USA. 30% tariff is still a huge tax on Americans. 90-day pause still causes uncertainty. Trump lost all negotiating leverage.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
China.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Wow, I have a lot of stacks of things. All right, Adam Kinzinger says, happy tariff capitulation day to all who celebrate. Thank you. Yeah, we have some more. Jake Auchincloss, who we've had on this program.
Yeah. You got to give credit to Trump as a marketer. He creates uncertainty and havoc by raising tariffs and then claims victory when he lowers the tariffs that he himself put in place, right? All this does is extend uncertainty for another 90 days.
Exactly.
Thank you. You've got to. We got to keep putting this messaging out there. Right. Breaking. Trump just called the EU nastier than China, and we just started with them. This moron is threatening a Democratic ally with barely 2% average tariffs. He says we have all the cards. No, we don't. The EU is the biggest trading bloc on earth.
Yeah.
They will punch back hard, and it won't be Europe bleeding. It'll be American farmers, workers, and your damn wallet.
Yep.
Molly said Trump drops tariffs on goods from China to 30% for 90 days. That was his big China deal. It's still 30% higher than it was before this drama started, and more than enough to cause great pain for small businesses and consumers. That's the thing, is he just doesn't care.
No, he couldn't care
about
less.
Dock workers and drivers and small businesses that can't. I mean, they have to guess what his next erratic whim is going to be and when, right? And try to plan. How do you plan a business around that?
You can't. That's why tariffs need to be passed by law, and you have years to implement it.
Right.
Friends of mine who own small businesses are really, really sick of all the uncertainty.
Yeah.
Lincoln Project said Trump is in the process of caving to China again, but they won't make it easy. Even if those quote-unquote talks do result in a deal, the damage is already done. The world will keep trading around us. Manufacturing won't come back, and prices will just keep rising. I mean, that's the problem. Someone was saying even if he stops now, it's still going to be really bad. It still will probably send us into a recession.
Yeah.
Like, how do people think this is a win? That it was zero before he started this bolt, and now it's 30%, and that's a win. And China's how hard is it to do the math? They're 10%, right? goods that I can't. I might have a headache. Okay.
We're not even halfway through the show yet. You have a headache.
Joe Walsh said, for the umpteenth time, if tariffs are such a good thing, how come everyone breathes a big sigh of relief, and how come the markets rejoice whenever Trump is forced to cave and rescind them? I mean, and it's just this rinse, lather, repeat chaos of it. You know, Jody, that's just like, what is this 90 day? What does this buy us, this 90 days?
It buys more stock manipulation.
It's just him blinking. He blinks every time.
And are we even sure it's going to be 90 days?
Right. Yeah. Right.
No.
It depends on what Fox News business anchor calls him a
Right.
Then he does something else to right. Lincoln Project again. Trump chickened out on tariffs again. He screwed over the market. Is still raising prices. Will cause product shortages. All for nothing more than a quote continued conversations. Brett Stevens said. So the Chinese businesses pay 10%. U.S. businesses pay 30%. Art of the deal, right? America last policies. I mean, it's just on and on. David Packman, our buddy, our pal, said Trump started a trade war, lost it, now calls a 90-day pause a victory. It's like lighting your kitchen on fire, asking for applause when you find the fire extinguisher. We cannot get enough arson.
And then David Packman went, waka, 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 waka.
Right, exactly.
He never heard that before.
I'm sure he's never heard that before.
Scott... All right, let's hear some Trump administration BS. This would be Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary. Okay.
Well, look, bringing back our strategic, our important strategic industries can be a result of tariffs, but it's also a result of national will. So this administration is running full speed to make sure that what we saw during COVID never happens again.
We're starting to have that happen again. There are no ships coming from China right now.
He didn't sound too sure of himself.
No.
He sounded like that kid.
The stumbly kid.
The stammery kid, yeah.
He did.
It's like, Did he actually say hamana hamana?
You can do
Wait, now let's turn the gaslighting up to what's the number past 11? 11 billion?
Sure.
This would be Kevin Hassett, the economic advisor.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There were some difficult times. I think that Justin Trudeau and the president didn't exactly get along, and Canada kept making it worse and worse with their rhetoric. But now I think that we've had the prime minister come in and meet with the president and begin a new, closer relationship. So I'm sure everything will work out fine.
Canada hates us.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada.
Exactly.
Canada's making...
They made it worse with their
Canada's
rhetoric?
making it worse. Now look what you did.
They hate us.
Look what you made me do.
Look what you made me do.
Oh, my God.
They were bent over that pinball machine.
Wow.
Wearing those short shorts.
That's Canada's fault. Wow. That really is right out of South Park.
It really is.
Oh, wait. Speaking of blame, hang on. Here we go. Sean Duffy, the Transportation Secretary, real world guy, whatever that.
Listen, we've all been reporting and seeing what's happening at Newark Airport.
Right.
And I think it is clear that the blame belongs with the last administration.
Oh, yes, of course.
Pete Buttigieg and Joe Biden did nothing to fix the system that they knew was broken.
I have a question.
Wrong.
Yes, Jody.
Why didn't Trump try to, the first administration, take care of any of the problems?
Yeah,
that
I
are
don't
decades
know.
old?
There's just a blank there.
Here's
it's
the thing.
just Biden's fault. Yeah.
Pete Buttigieg asked Congress for money to hire more air traffic controllers and to fix the computer systems with the FAA.
Exactly.
Congress said no.
Right, because it would have been a win for Biden.
Exactly.
This cannot be. There's got to be a smaller and smaller percentage of the population that believes this crap. That everything is Biden's fault that is happening now.
Well,
how many planes fell out of the sky when Biden was president? I don't know. I'm going to say close to zero. How many have we had in 100-something days, right?
Several.
Okay. Also, we mentioned this yesterday, but Ron Filipowski, Jody, Trump's very public and transparent reaction to the Qatar jet grift only came to light after confidential sources told ABC about it.
Exactly.
That's always the first. They try to hide it, then it gets blown up, and then Trump lashes out. Fake news. Who are you from, ABC? By the way, that's what you get from bending the knee, ABC, on the George Stephanopoulos thing that you didn't need to bend the knee on, that he was not incorrect on, and now he's going to go after ABC again because stuff.